Hi everybody, welcome back to Samara Builds. I'm Samara. I'm building a better life. Okay, if you've seen any of my recent videos, you know I'm in college because I won't shut up about it because I love it so much. It's really awesome. I have an environmental science class that I have really enjoyed. Like every class blows my freaking mind. And for part of that class, we had to do volunteer hours where we did some kind of volunteering where we helped the environment. I did some hours of my project online with the Wildlife Watch, which is really cool. But today I want to talk about the Utah Recycling Alliance and their charm events. The event is quite charming. CHARM stands for Collection of Hard to Recycle Materials. So it's all of the things that you want to recycle, wish you could recycle, don't really know how. Like things that don't typically just like get thrown in the blue bin. And I spent a couple of events with them and I've loved it so much that I'm going to keep volunteering with them even after this class is over. But I've learned some really interesting things along the way while I've been volunteering with them. Some of the items that they collect are like old mattresses, old bikes, old ski and snowboard equipment, soft plastics, so things like grocery bags or things that are like more stretchy, styrofoam. At one of the events they did paper shredding and e-waste. And it's like such a positive environment to be helping just collect these things. Like the people are so happy to be dropping them off. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I always thought that like styrofoam is not recyclable. Like no form of it was recyclable. But there's a kind of styrofoam where like we call it styrofoam. It's called EPS, and that stands for expanded polystyrene. I'm not going to remember that, so I'm going to keep saying EPS. EPS is recyclable, and it's 100% recyclable. Like no part of it ends up back in the landfill or anything like that, which is really cool. I looked at this study that showed that when you do EPS recycling, it has a really great impact. So it lowers the impact on land use, ozone depletion, acidification, and eutrophication. Eutrophication is a big word. I learned what it means in my environmental science class. It's like when water systems get too much nutrients. So like look at a bunch of like nitrogen or potassium or whatever, and then you see the algae blooms, and you've probably seen these like in different ponds and things where it'll just have like a ton of that mossy, murky, slimy green stuff, pond scum. And that seems great, right? Like it's a big boom of growth. But once that dies, the bacteria starts to eat all of it. And the bacteria uses all the oxygen in the water. So all of a sudden we have no oxygen in the water. So fish die, plants die. They're called like dead zones. So that's really bad. So recycling the EPS, which is the hard, sturdy, stable styrofoam, like the one where if you break it, it'll just crumble. It's really good for the environment. So hold on to those and bring it to the next CHARM event. Another thing that like a lot of people brought, like at the first event I went to, they got thousands of pounds of e-waste, which is so cool. We all have stuff in our homes that I would think just needs to be thrown away, like an electronic that can't be used anymore, so you can't donate it. I didn't know it was recyclable. Now I know. And e-waste is a really big polluter of the world. There was a study that showed that in 2022, 62 billion kilograms of e-waste was created. That's so much. And think about all the electronics that you use for like 2 months and then they just like don't work anymore, so you get rid of it, right? Let's recycle that, because another study showed that e-waste pollution, I'm just going to quote it here directly because I want to get this right. It causes health problems, which include pregnancy and adverse neonatal problems, health issues, cancer, endocrine disruption, risk of thyroid, and impaired lung function. I'm not a doctor, but those sound pretty darn serious to me. Also, e-waste harms aquatic and terrestrial environments for animals. The leaching from poorly kept landfills is really dangerous. I've never thought about this, but in your iPhone, in your computer, in your toaster, there are all kinds of different metals, and then in a lot of these things, different chemicals as well, where when they get into the environment, it's really bad for the environment. And so when we can recycle these things, it's also beneficial to the environment because then we're not mining for those rare earth elements. We can kind of mine them or just obviously recycle them from these products, which is, again, it saves it from getting into a landfill where it's leaking out, harming the environment, and it's also protecting the environment in that maybe we don't have to mine so much for these things. I live in Utah where it's really evident, the pollution. There's no hiding from it here. We have an oil refinery right next to Salt Lake City. We have a landfill just a couple miles from that. And then we have the Kennecott copper mine where you can see them just tearing through a mountain. We get terrible air quality here because of the geography that traps in the air. So we have really bad pollution days, particularly in the winter. I think that this is so important that we recycle where we can. So look up, if you're not in Utah, just look up, recycling events that are happening near you. I know a lot of places are trying to implement this more. I think it's really important. It's a really easy thing to do too. You just save all your plastic bags, save all your clamshells, and just drop them off, and then they will take them to the right places, which is really, really cool. Thank you guys for watching. As always, eat a healthy thing, drink some water, go for a walk, give yourself a hug, continue to build a better life, and I'll see you here next time. Bye, guys. Are you trying to attack me? Huh?